Hi everyone, my name is Raphael and I teach spirituality. I coach people and I also write books and I teach yoga sometimes. So welcome to be here. It's a joy. This is the Back to Joy show. With me today are again the beautiful co-host.
Hello, as you can see, we're abroad Vancouver with me, and I'm Jamie Smith, and I am a certified law of attraction coach, and I'm also a spiritual comedian, and I love to help you attract and create your greatest dreams with fun, with ease. Say yes if it would be okay if you could attract your ideal life with joy and with ease. Say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But first we have Sarah.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Sarah Love, and I'm an angel intuitive, and I help people connect with their angels and their spirit guides with ease and grace, and also with fun as well. I like that. And yeah, we're here today. This is part 2 of the attracting, manifesting, the law of attraction.
Yes, definitely. So, Sarah? What with your own spiritual awakening and contact with your guides and angels, how would you define very simple terms what the law of attraction is?
The law of attraction, like attracts like.
Yes.
But it's more on, I think that's like the simplistic way, but I feel like it is, like we have our part of, what do we want? How do we want to feel? And then also working with our angels and guides for them to, that's where that allowing comes in and letting go so that they can bring that to us with, with ease and grace. Because when we try to get in and we become our own, obstacles versus allowing them just to kind of bring that to us.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, Mr. Jamie Smith.
Welcome back to part 2. Because last week it was part 1, nice shades. So we talked a lot about what the law of attraction is. I'm just going to do a quick recap again what the law of attraction is and how it's working. And then I've got these really fun cards, and I'm going to go over read them, and we're just going to do a discussion on it. And I'd really love to know what you're all taking away from this, what your takeaway is. These are awesome cards. So in a nutshell, this law of attraction is a universal law. Like I said, I can't prove it to you. I can't put it in a petri dish, but it is a universal law. It's working. It's like gravity.
It's been working for you in your whole life.
It's always
how
working.
You know how it works.
It's always working. So basically in a nutshell, the law of attraction states that you get in your life whatever you give your energy, attention, and focus to. That's the first part. The second part is whether negative or positive. And so, okay, I hope you don't hear that. There's a truck outside or the door here. But anyway, so that's what it states. And so my invitation to all of you listening is, to think about what area of your life needs a vibe reset. And so what is a vibe? What is a vibe?
A vibe is a feeling.
A vibe is just a mood or a feeling. And when do we have moods or feelings?
Every moment.
Right now, and right now, and right now. And everybody has a mood or a feeling. And that is determined by what the words that we're saying and the thoughts that we're speaking and what we're focusing on. So here's just a little chart. I don't know if you can see this. I've showed it before. But this really is a complete spiritual practice in itself. So every word we speak and every thought we think is what's really producing the vibration that we are sending out into the world. And the law of attraction, like many people's job, I'm sure Griselda has a job description this long. When you worked in the corporate world, your job description, the universe has a 2-word job description. You took my seminar last Thursday. What is it? Match.
Vibration.
Vibrations. Everybody say it together. 1, 2, 3. Match. Vibrations. That's all the universe is doing right now and right now and right now. So it's matching the positive ones and the negative ones. So, and how many vibrations can you have or moods or feelings can you have at any one time? You can only have one vibration at a time. And so if you are feeling,
otherwise you may have multiple personalities.
Yeah,
It feels like that sometimes. No.
yeah. I tend to wake up grumpy and confession. And so one of the things I'll do is like, okay, I don't feel, I just like, and I'll start listing the things in my bed that I'm grateful for. Because you can only have one vibration at a time. So I'm focusing on like, I don't want to get out of bed or whatever. It's just a default. And it shifts my vibration and lifts me. And I feel better. And we know scientists, and there's books out there, we're not going to go into detail, but there's books out there that a positive thought is like 10,000 times stronger than a negative thought. So we don't have to be scared of our negative thoughts.
Yes. And what I love about Abraham, for some of you who don't know them, there's it's a group of entities who are being channeled through a lady called Esther Hicks. And Esther was featured as well in The Secret. And she's been, she and her late husband have been teaching the law of attraction for the longest. And one of the principles that they share is that 17 seconds of joy, 17 seconds of feeling great, feeling amazing, erases hours and hours and hours of stress, of anxiety, of depression. 17 seconds of simply holding that feeling of joy. And you can do this through any way from a shape. You can simply just put some loud music on and start dancing and start celebrating. And even if it feels fake at first, simply the part where you can just shift your focus, shift the focus on the joy, shift the focus on what does it feel to experience that high vibration is enough for you to, at least if it won't bring that what I call that really deep joy within, it will give you some glimpses of how it feels. And it is really a choice. It is really a choice. And that is, for me, what I would love for anyone listening today to realize, that you do have the power to shift your vibration at any given moment. We always have the free will to shift the vibration. And anyone that will tell you the contrary is trying to control you. So do not listen to them. You know, within you, you always have the power to shift the vibration. It is very critical and key to remind yourself of that, because where you put your focus is where your reality is. It is as simple as that.
Yeah. And I want to add too, with angels and guides, in my like low moments as well, I'd even call upon them and be like, help me lift this, and just where it seems like I can't get past it, or it's like I'm really angry or sad, and it's like, help me lift this, and then it just dissipates, and it's awesome. So
yes, and also know that we've got helped. You are never alone. You're always being helped, and it's tough at times. It's tough at times, because, and that's the thing about the law of attraction, that it can really give you very clear, concrete tools to remind yourself of that. And I loved when we did the show in Montreal. I loved it because there were two ladies, especially one lady, who had done Jamie's seminar, I think a year or two prior. And she simply came back because she wanted a refresh. She was like, I know all of that, but I simply wanted a reminder. And yes.
It's like a muscle.
Exactly.
Like you don't go to the gym once and expect to have perfect abs. You work out 3-4 times a week or whatever if you want to see results. And it's the same thing with our goals and with our dreams, or any area of our life that we want to reset. Yes. So again, my invitation, what area of your life do you want to reset? Either a goal or a dream, or an area of your life that has the lowest vibration that's maybe causing stress in the other areas. Focus on that for the next 3 months.
Yes.
And clean that up.
Yes.
Or focus on that one goal. And if you just focus on like 17 seconds, or, in my training, my law of attraction training, my mentor said, just 10 minutes a day of deliberate attraction of your dreams. 10 minutes a day. And if you can't do that, can you do a minute? Everybody can do a minute. So one of the things that what really struck me when I took my law of attraction training is that the reason that people have a negative vibe, and then the universe is just bringing more. First of all, the universe is always saying yes. It's always saying yes. So if your most dominant vibration is negative, the universe is going, yes, That's what he wants. That's what she wants. Yes. Okay. Yes. She's in a bad mood. Let's bring her more to be in a bad mood about.
Yeah.
And so what I've realized in my training and in myself and in my own life, most people are focusing on what they don't want. Are focusing on what they don't want. And so the reason I have this
and why would you say that?
I think it's just the world we live in. It doesn't, like, we were talking about joy. It seems like joy is almost like people are like, who are you to be too happy or too joyful? People have a happiness set point. Who knows how it got created, but there is a happiness set point, and our natural state is a high vibration. Your natural is a high vibration. Your natural state is joy. Mm-hmm. Joy is your original energy. But yet, this world we live in, or people's jealousy, or conditioning, or people didn't live their dreams, so then they project that onto you. Who knows? And then this world is we are so addicted to drama. Yeah. Just watch the news, and you see how addicted. That's such a low vibration. And if you absorb, so I say to people, once you know your vibration is a high, you're feeling good, then your only job is to mind your own vibration and protect it like it's the most precious thing in the world. And you mind your own vibration by the conversations that you engage in, because complaining is attracting what you don't want. Worrying is attracting what you don't want. And focusing on things like the news. If I watch CNN for more than 5 minutes, I like to skim the headlines. I like to know I like to be informed. But if I watch CNN for more than 5 minutes, I can already feel it. It's toxic. It is toxic.
Yes.
And people get sucked into that. And what happens is we say, oh, this world is bringing us down. No, we're allowing our vibration to match that. Like, we're just allowing it. And so who knows how it got created? Who knows to control it? Well, there's all sorts of theories, but it doesn't matter. Our job is to vibrate joy, to be happy, because deep down, every single one of us wants to make a difference. There's a part of us that wants to know our life mattered, that we somehow made a difference. Mm-hmm. And we do that by vibrating love, mm-hmm. by choosing our original energy. And it takes courage in this world. It does. It takes courage. And people look at you, Laura, they get jealous because you're so happy. Well, you know what? The people who are meant to be in your life will rise with you. And you will inspire the people who are your tribe. They will rise with you. That's how you change people, by the way. You know, people say you can't change others. You can't really change them, but the way you can change them is by changing yourself. No, really,
by becoming an inspiration to others, mm-hmm. and by showing people that it is possible, that if that person did it, then maybe I can do it myself too.
So I want to show this. Yeah.
And the other thing is, one thing I love as well for the listeners to realize is again, there are, in essence, you have two. We live in a world of contrast. We live in a world of polarity, and where you have the good and the bad, the pleasure and the pain, the sadness and the happiness, and basically we are as humans we go through those emotions for our whole lives, from a very young age until we pass, and we have rarely those moments where we can feel peace, when we can feel total peace and simply be fulfilled and content with what is. And for me, that is what joy is. Joy is not a woo-woo feeling where one day you will feel high and the other day you will feel down. It really transcends those states of polarity. For me, joy is really a state of connectedness to who we really are. And in order for you to know who you really are, there are those three qualities, of what I call a state of groundedness. You're really grounded, you're centered, you're in your life, you're fully in your body, you're fully in your life, you're fully present with life. A state of allowing, where you're open to life. You're vulnerable with your emotions, you're open to your feelings, and you are listening to your intuition. And also a state of honoring. You're honoring who you are. You're honoring your uniqueness. You're honoring your free will, which is responsibility. Responsibility means ability to respond. That's what it means. So it doesn't mean that, you're basically, following that shame and guilt, feeling, oh my God, I have those obligations that I have to to respect. No, responsibility is to know that at any given moment you have the ability to respond. You have the free will to choose how you want to respond to a situation. And the last is courage. At some point, you're going to need to have that courage to work through your fears. You're going to have to need that courage to speak your truth and to honor your truth. And for me, one of the major reasons why we are where we're at now in humanity is because we were driven by fear. We've been going through ages of fear for millennia. It was fear, 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 fear. Controlling people by fear, abusing people by fear, keeping people by fear, so that they basically cannot access that joy. Because for me, what we call paradise or heaven, it's a state of being. It's not a location, it is a state of being. And if you read a book such as Dying to Be Me by Anita Moorjani, she went through an ND, near-death experience. And that book was very powerful for me because she passed almost. And then she went on the other side. And the message she received was, love yourself unconditionally and live your life fearlessly. Live your life fearlessly. Because in essence, once you remove the fear, and I would love, love, love for people who are listening to ask themselves that question over and over again. Whenever you have an issue, whenever you have turmoil, whenever you feel down, whenever you feel that you feel off balance, ask yourself the question, what would I do if I was not afraid? Right now, what would I do if I was not afraid? And as you keep asking yourself the question, you'll be amazed at how simple the answer is.
It is.
How simple the answer is, truly, you know. It is not something where you need to go and consult like a zillions of psychics, like reading like a zillion of self-help book, or, you know, like going to India to an ashram, or, you know, going on that quest. It isn't. Universe is simple. Joy is simple. It is very simple. However, we make it complicated because we're afraid. We're afraid, and we keep believing that it has to be that super uber kind of like, you know, like complicated thing, but it isn't. It isn't. Joy is very, very simple. So I would love for you who are listening to ask yourself the question, what would you do if you were not afraid? If there's no fear, what would I do? What would I do? And it is very scary because you need to walk through the fears. Mm-hmm. You know, because once you ask yourself that question, when I ask myself the question, what would I do if I were not afraid? That's a question that helped me to quit my corporate career. And of course, it's not like it happened like this, you know, it's been like a little process. But after I asked myself that question, within 3 months, I was done. I was done. It was a done deal.
Amazing. It was a done deal.
And I promise to you, as you start practicing, because it's a process, and the feel will come, even when you make the decision, the feel will come back to yourself, to you over and over, which is why you need to practice, which is why the law of attraction is so powerful, because it really teaches you that the universe matches your vibration. In essence, you know, the universe is always a reflection of how you feel. Not how you think, but how you feel in your heart. How does it feel in your heart? How does it feel within? And that is really, you know, what the law of attraction is. It teaches you that, you know, everything in the external, everything out there is always a reflection, a matching of how you feel.
It's just matching, exactly.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so if you're going through your day and you don't feel good, there's a vibe where you can press your own personal vibe reset button. We have an internal one by asking ourselves this question. So you always have the choice to reset your vibes. When they are negative, ask yourself, what do I want? That's the reset button. That's the reset phrase. What do I want? So just keep asking you that, and it's a little shift, right?
Yes.
And then when you start to focus on what you want. Because remember I said most people are focusing on it's really insidious how most people are really so stuck on what they don't want, and they think that is the way to change. Yes. Now, here's my other one little card. I just want to.
And again, they stuck on what they don't want because it's fear.
So this is the thing. It's okay to acknowledge the things that you don't like, as long as you do it briefly. Okay, but only you can determine how long briefly is. If you walk into a room that stinks, how long would you stay there?
1 second.
Right? Okay, but if you're, you know, you listen to music that's horrible, how long do you listen to it? You change the channel right away.
Right away.
Okay, so the things we don't like, they're there to show us, and chaos and all that stuff, it's a gift, and it's showing us it's okay to acknowledge what you don't like or what you don't want, because it's showing you what you do want. That's the gift of it.
Yes.
But just most people stay in the contrast far, stay stuck there instead of using it as a catalyst. Like, this doesn't feel good. Okay, well, this is actually a real gift. This is a real blessing.
Yes.
So what do I want?
Right. And what is very also important to realize is that because the law of attraction, the law of attraction to me explains to you the mechanics of how the universe works. You see, so it explains to you, in essence, you know, the law of energy, and because everything is energy. Everything is energy. You know, one thing I've realized when I had my spiritual awakening is that if all of us would have like those kind of like very super uber powerful lens, you know, almost like magnifying microscopes, and that all we would see would simply be molecules, atoms moving constantly. How would that feel? Like if you know, like like everyone on that call would put those lenses and would simply look around. We wouldn't see people, we wouldn't see things, we would just see energy moving over and over and over again. And somehow our perception is everything, because that's how we perceive whether, you know, how the molecules work and how the atoms works, whether it feels good or not. And what we define as good or not is the rate of that vibration. You see, like if you would look at a rock is a very low vibration. It's a very dense vibration. But the rock, there's nothing bad for the rock. We need rocks. We do need rocks, right? I mean, we do need the crust to be on Earth. So, but our mind, it's interesting because the mind would label the rock as something bad because it's dense, because it's heavy. Whereas something that is very light feels, oh my God, it feels so light, it feels so good. And the thing is, when you start when you start to really understand that everything is energy, you release a judgment, and that helps also to release a fear. So that when you feel that dark emotion within you, when you feel that heaviness on your heart, you don't judge it. You don't put that judgment that, oh, this is bad, so, you know, I'm going to, you know, so you keep judging a situation and being stuck in that judgment. And whereas if you simply say, okay, it's there, you simply allow it to be as a rock, you can free yourself from that judgment. You can free yourself from that attachment that you have. And for me, it's like when you start to truly realize that when you start releasing judgment on your emotions, because in essence, that's truly what we go through life. We go through our emotions, you know, and because, you know, so many of us get caught up by thinking that, you know, and that's also one of the issues of the secret, when the secret came out, you know, of the law of attraction. It was, many people thought, oh, but this is so materialistic. Everyone keeps focusing on, you know, like, oh, I want $1 million. So I'm going to put like, you know, I'm going to put those bills, you know, on my vision board, and I'm going to keep looking at those notes, those bills over and over and over again until I manifest it. Same for the house, same for the relationship, same for everything in your life. You keep like, you know, somehow focusing on those materials things, thinking that that's what's going to bring you joy. Mm-hmm. But it isn't. Because what you're looking for is a feeling.
That's it, and that's what we all three of us teach. What's slightly different is that your original energy already is joy. And from there, when you know that you're whole and you're enough, and you can relax into that, then there's dreams and goals within you. And yes, we want to learn law of attraction techniques because they can help us to attract opportunities. But here's what the deal is. Like, we did this thing by just following our highest joy. Paul and I did this show in Montreal, the Elevate Your Vibe, and we did this event. And at the end of the event, we attracted more speaking opportunities just from people who saw it. And we didn't try, we weren't focused, we were just following our highest joy. We were just vibrating joy and doing what we love. And so this can attract, and then you can say yes or no when it comes in. You can say, yeah, that feels right. Yes, you can say yes to it. You don't have to say yes to everything joyful that you attract, because then you could be overloaded too. But you will see that you will start to attract more of what you want when you are vibrating joy.
Yes, when you're reminding yourself of your true state, when you're reminding yourself of your true nature.
Because remember,
I almost feel that's easier too, because it's like if you're focusing on just, you know, like that feeling of what you want, like people want millions of dollars, and the main reason is they want that freedom.
Right, exactly.
Like, what does freedom feel like? And a lot of times too, we feel like, okay, I want this, you know, this big old house and all these cars, and then we feel disappointed because we don't get it. But it's like our higher selves, and you know, and it has a higher purpose for us. So it's like we may not get that, but if we stay in that high vibration, we're gonna get something even better. So
abundance is just a feeling.
Yeah.
You can feel it, and noticing all the abundance you already have right now.
Yes.
Is actually the way to attract more abundance.
Yes.
You're right.
Which is why, you know, it's so important over and over. Like whenever you ask yourself, you know, what is it that I want? You know, because that's the first step of the law of attraction. You know, identify your desire. It is quintessential to ask yourself, what is the feeling that I want to experience?
Yes.
What is the feeling that I want to experience? And this is paramount, because again, and that's why I talk about joy. That's why my book is about joy. That's why my teachings called Sacred Joy Teachings, is because at the end of the day, the reason why you want something is because you believe that it's going to bring you joy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise, why do it?
I think that's easier too, because I've had clients where they don't know what they want. They're such in that negative stream where it's like, they'd be like, well, then there's this and there's this. And I was like, no, what do you want? And it's like, I don't know. They've never asked themselves that, you know?
Right.
But it's like to feel better,
it's
you know?
It's to feel better.
So it's like all of that.
Yes, which is why Michael Lozier say our natural state is happiness. I prefer to call it joy. Because, you know, and that's the thing that is so paramount and important, is because even, you know, when you're in a situation where somehow you stay in what you would say a bad relationship, or, you know, or a work that doesn't bring you any happiness, or, you know, a situation where you keep drawing or keep attracting those negative things to you, it's because somehow there's a belief that you need those in your life, that you're not worthy and deserving of joy. And the question is to ask yourself, okay, when you can shift the focus on what do you truly want, what do you truly, truly want, that's when the clarity comes in. And that's when you can start releasing, you know, those distorted attraction, because it's all distortions, you know, that's the reason why, you know, there's so many people that stay in abusive relationship, and you ask yourself, well, why would you do that to yourself? Why do you keep staying in that relationship where that person is abusing to you? Why would you do that? It's because somehow there's a belief that what they get from it is more than what they wouldn't get. It's because there's a belief somehow that I prefer to stay with that abuser, because somehow that abuser is good for me, or is giving me something that I need. Otherwise, you wouldn't say it.
It's familiar.
Yes, it's familiar. So
I want to do two last things, two last tips, and then my invitation. What I thought would be fun is for all of us to start thinking, to think about what is the goal. I say 1 to 3 max. And if you don't know what your goal is, then just pick an inner goal for 1 month, an inner goal or inner feeling. But one goal for the next, let's say, 30 days or 3 months. You pick if it's going to be 3 months or 30 days. One goal that you're committed to putting some focus on, deliberate focus on, and we'll check in with you and we'll see the results that you get. Because baby, this shit works. Are we allowed to swear? So here's the deal. So I'm going to give 2 more tips. One more. I'm going to do 1 more tip and then another tip, and then we'll go over this, a 3-step deliberate attraction process, and then you're going to think about the goal that you want to attract into your life or create or shift or whatever. And then these are the 3 steps, and I'm going to ask each one of you which of the 3 steps, because it's a 3-step process. And if you don't have what you want, it's because you need to put some attention on one of the other steps. So for me too, I can tell you I'm missing step 2 and 3 on one of my goals, and I need to. So it's just an invitation on awareness, not self-judgment. But one of the tips I just wanted to say is that not only does the universe manifest outer stuff. Remember the woman that my friend, she's here.
Oh, yes, Elga.
Helga, it's unfortunate, because the thing is that I love this quote by Louise Hay. Louise Hay said that older people's faces will show a lifetime of their thinking. And she said, what will your face look like when you're older? So the law of attraction and positive. I know, right? You're still going to look angelic. But really, like, it can also, negativity and fear can also change our physiology and our biology, right? Yes. And I know this woman, and I call her the most negative woman in the world, and so she's a friend of mine. She lets me call her that because she's just the way she is. Yes. She's here. Would you like to meet her?
Yes, she just lives down the corner.
I'll go get.
Yes, okay.
Is Elga? Olga? Elga?
Yes, Elga.
Okay.
Yes, she was at the show as well. You know, I met her for the first time, and
very nice.
Very very interesting woman. Mm-hmm.
You get her the joy vibe.
What is the show that you're doing? What is this? Back to what? Back to joy. The back to joy. I'm not happy about this back to joy. If I have to do the back to joy, but there's so much suffering in the world. I'm not happy. I'm very upset. This is terrible. Why you have, because I was in the checkout at the security at the airport, and they take my bottle of vodka. Why they not tell me you have to put it in the luggage? I'm not happy. I'm very upset. I'm not only this. Then I left my sweater at the security, and I went back to get it, and somebody stole it. What kind of world are we living in? You can't trust the people. I'm not happy. You can have the joy, but not me.
Don't leave, Elga. Please stay. We do have some advice for you. Okay, we'll come back.
What do you want to tell me? I have no time. I have to read the news.
So maybe you can tell us, why do you feel so sad? Why do you feel so angry? What's the issue? What is the problem?
The world is terrible. And how do you have joy when there's so much suffering? It's a terrible world we live in,
Well, it is, but maybe the suffering can teach something to the people. Maybe they can teach them that they don't have joy.
What has to teach you nothing?
What can we do, Sarah, about it? it seems like...
I'm sending angel love.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we're going to do, Elga. We're going to send you a lot of love, and we're going to keep praying for you. So, yes, thank you.
And then, what's one good thing in your life right now?
My coffee.
There you go.
Yes.
Start focusing on your coffee. What else?
And my grandchildren.
Aww. You want to tell us about your grandchildren?
They're very lovely, but they don't see their grandmother enough.
Very sad, yeah. Maybe they could come around more?
Yeah, that would be lovely.
And then you can have coffee and then have hot cocoa with your grandchildren. That'd be lovely.
This joy thing feels good. Oh, maybe I'll watch your show next week. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, you get the point, right? Right. But they really, and I actually did kind of meet somebody similar to that, and I do apologize if it was your grandmother.
Yes.
But literally, she was on my flight, and literally, her face.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
What kind of thinking patterns go through somebody's face to make it permanent like that? Anyway, so let's go over the 3-step deliberate attraction process. This is a process for a recipe for a success. you know, and I'm going to invite you to think about, okay, what is your goal? What is your goal that you would like to really focus on over the next month, 1 to 3 months? And then which steps do you need to implement? I'm going to ask all of us because, you know, we're coaches, but we're also, you know, human, and we're focusing on stuff, and we're always constantly working on ourselves as well. So here's the 3-step deliberate attraction process. Okay, so step 1 is you've got to identify your desire. Like Sarah said, is most people know what they don't want, and they focus there too much. So, you know, get still. You don't have to like, oh my God, I don't know what I want. If you don't know what you want, then I have 2 suggestions. 1, make your only goal to feel good today for the next 30 days. And you'll see you'll start to get in touch with your intuition and your true soul desires. Or pick the area of your life that's causing you the most stress and clean that up and just focus on that. And you will see that every other area of your life will begin to shift. Okay, so step 1, that's the first step. So what is your goal? Think about that. Next step 2 is you've got to give your desire focus. So if I decide what I want and then I make a vision board and then I put the vision board away, is that focusing on what I want? No, you've got to find ways. But here's the tip that I want to give everybody: just make it feel good. Bring lightness to this. It doesn't have to be like, I have to manifest $1 million. No, it's like spiritual constipation. It's like it doesn't work. It's just so
no, because you keep saying to the universe, I have to,
or
you know, as opposed to stating that you are already in that place when you feel, because that's, again, it's everything's a feeling. Remember, everything's a feeling. So, which is why, you know, when you can bring yourself to that place where you know that abundance is a feeling, you are already in that space where you already have $1 million.
Yes.
You know, you already have it. Only and only if you allow that feeling, if you allow yourself to experience that feeling, you know, like how would that feel if you would have like $1 million? And which is why Jim Carrey is you know, you can go on YouTube and look at you know, at his videos, because it's very, very powerful. He would, you know, when he started to be a comedian, he would just simply drive around what's that place? Beverly Hills and not Santa Monica, but you know, Santa Monica and all those places, you know, those very nice mansions. And he would pretend that he was already a very famous actor with all those big deals, and everything was great. He was already doing that. And Jeremy also shared a wonderful story about, you know, how he instinctively was utilizing the law of attraction, and through visualization, you know.
Daydreaming. Yes. So step 2 includes daydreaming. It includes talking about your goals, talking about what you want to other dreamers, by the way, not to people who are going to poo-poo your dreams, but to other dreamers. That includes vision boards. That includes meditation. That includes journaling. That includes getting coached by a coach. Any way. So step 2, give it focus, but the key is, and I want everyone to hear this, is any way that feels good for you. And so sometimes I'm a very busy person. So one of my goals, and I'm going to share, and then I'm going to share what step I need to work on, is step 2 is I want to finish a voice acting class that I've been taking, and I have not finished it. It's an online course. I still have not completed it. And my teacher said, because you're not focused. So I need to now just spend a chunk of time. It could be 10 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day. Set that aside and focus on it. And that's the way it's going to actually get done. And have fun with it and make that my sacred time. So anyway, that's step 2. So, just have fun with it. And step 3, it's the most important step and the most misunderstood step. It's allow it, which allowing equals 0 tension. So like Sarah said, that's the quickest way to just get to the feeling of, because if we all have dreams and goals, but like you were saying, it's because it would bring us joy. Well, feel joy now. Do what brings you joy now. You know, but one of the quickest ways to start seeing evidence of your dreams coming true. So once you have this goal, like we all have fears and doubts that come up. My fear and doubt is that I'm not going to make any money with voice acting. What if I don't get any gigs? See how the monkey mind works? And yet everybody's been telling me all my life, you'd be so great at it. And I know I can do it, but there's still that. So what the key to help you with your doubts and your fears is to then start celebrating. Once you have decided what you want, what step is that?
Step 1.
Step 1. Once you then start giving it energy, attention, and focus in any way that feels good, which step is that?
Step 2.
Step 2. Thank you. And then you need to allow it, which is what? Step
3.
Step 3, the quickest way to allow is to start celebrating.
Yeah.
Celebrating right now, even the smallest clue that, oh, my dreams are coming true.
Yes.
Start just celebrating, like, yay, or call a friend or write it down. I keep a book of of evidence of everything, how the universe is supporting the unfolding of my desire. I keep a little book. It's called My Evidence of Positive Law of Attraction Journal. And just start noticing. And the more you focus on that and the more you celebrate, the universe goes, oh, yes, let's bring there more celebrations. You get it? 3 steps. It's simple. So I'm turning it over to you guys. What is if you want to share, you don't have to share what your goal is, but at least I'd love to hear which steps maybe it's all 3, maybe it's just 1. Which step do you feel that will be the most helpful for you moving forward for your desires? Who wants to go first? Don't all go at
once. So, yes.
I think I need more focus because I'm just really scattered as well, and then I'll just I think I'm good at starting projects. So I'll have a bunch of little projects going, and then it's like, oh yeah, whatever.
Yes. And I'd suggest just 3 at a time, no more than 3.
Yes.
If it doesn't, because scatter doesn't feel good. Some people like to do 10 and it works for them fine. But you know by how you feel. That's the barometer. And for me too, I need to focus on just 1 goal, 2 maybe, but no more than 3.
Yes.
Then it's out.
Right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. You know, I mean, Miudu, I don't know if you would like to share. You know, what you
do you have a specific goal or a step that you'd like to?
You shared already with us previously what you're working on.
I think I'd like to be more organized, but that's not very fun.
No, but it definitely will make you feel good, right? That's also a goal.
Yeah. Yes, you know. And how could you see the fun in those organizational skills? You know, like how could you bring that playfulness, you know, in it? That's a question you can ask yourself, you know.
I'll help you. I love organizing.
Thank you, universe.
Yes.
Is it organizing your time or is it organizing with your stuff, like your clutter, or both?
Both.
Okay. No. There's a really great book. It's just, it's called The Magical Art of Tidying Up.
I have it.
Oh,
I can get chapter 2. I was like...
Okay. Some resistance there.
Yes. So, yes. I would say that, you know, it's for anyone who's listening to the show. Step 3 is probably one of the most challenging because we're being asked to trust the universe, to trust, you know, our highest self, higher guidance, that, you know, the universe is always working for our best interest. And the universe wants us, or God, or whatever you want to call it, source energy, wants us to feel joy because that's who we are. So, you know, trusting that, opening yourself to the fact that, you know, whatever that it will happen, it will, you know, you will basically receive what is meant for you in order to feel that is one of the toughest part because it's not going to, we live in a world, in a reality when there is a delay between, you know, what you desire and the manifestation of it, you know. Sometimes when people are great instant manifestors, but sometimes it is also a good thing that you don't always get what you ask for. It is not always a good thing. And sometimes you realize, gee, you know, I thought I needed that in my life, but, you know, actually I didn't, you know, and which is why it is important as well to nurture those elements of what Jimmy mentioned, of journaling, of meditating, of going to that place of stillness, when you can truly realize, okay, you know, what would really bring me joy, and because that essence is only whispering to you. It's never forcing. It's never pushing you. It's never telling you, okay, this is what you have to do. Because whenever you hear that voice within yourself, this is not joy. This is not your higher guidance. This is fear talking to you. This is really fear speaking to you. So there's always this quality of lightness, of simplicity, of playfulness. This is how we know, you know, our joy speaks to us. And in order for you to listen to that, you need to be still, you need to be quiet. And you also need to cultivate those moments of solitude throughout the day, you know, where you do it simply by yourself. You just simply by yourself, and you're listening to those whispers, because they're only whispers. You know, they're never forceful. And it's also important to realize that that first step, allowing, is also the most essential one, because the universe will basically work on the how. Your job is simply to identify, okay, what is it that I want? And the universe will figure how to bring that to you.
And you know what, Mirja, you inspired a whole new show about being organizing, clutter clearing, and space clearing. And I think it's a huge thing. And I struggled with it for a while. So you're not alone, just so you know. And I got that book and I resisted it as well, but it really, really shifted so much in my life. But I realized I did an exercise even before that from Cheryl Richardson. It sounds a little woo-woo crazy, but you light candles around your clutter, and then you actually say, okay, what are you trying to say to me? And I realized that my clutter I was afraid of success. That if I got organized, then I'd have to actually I knew intuitively, and it's true when we get more, like Cheryl Richardson says, if you want a new level of success, a new level of organization is required. And so I was afraid of success, and I thought, I don't want to be afraid of success. I want success. So it was blocking me from going for my dreams and my goals. And so that's part of the allowing thing. It's like allowing my dreams meant that I needed to allow myself to feel better in my space as well. And so it was a process.
And also to release the fear. And also to release the fear, because the issue was fear of success.
It was fear of success. I thought, this is ridiculous. I want success. And so sometimes, and that clutter was weighing me down and exhausting and preventing me from moving forward. And so, so it's just something to think about. And I think that, you know, sometimes that we have a vision for our life, and sometimes that stuff can weigh us down from going forward from it, so of what we truly want. But you know, just it's a process, and if you keep working those steps, you'll see. And eventually, I got to the point where it's like, I want to go for my dreams so much that I'm gonna have to buckle down and get. And I got rid of so much stuff in my house. And
and it feels amazing. It feels like you become so light, which is why that book sold like more than 2 million copies, and maybe even more. It's by a Japanese lady, and because there is more behind the clutter. There is always more. You know, I mean, you feel
energy.
Yeah, because it's energy. It's energy that is sluggish. Clutter is sluggish energy. And
I feel like inside out too, because when I would start clearing inwardly, then I'd be more motivated to like go clean my closets and stuff. I don't need this. And it's weird, like how it triggered the emotion.
Exactly.
Some days where I'm like, I don't want to do any of that, you know. And
that's true. When I'm
and it's like when you're clearing, then it's like I'd even clean stuff on my laptop, and I'm like, oh my god, hours later. But I am kind of addicted to it too, so I can't lie about that.
So
stuff in the past, it feels great, right? And I'm like so happy that I do it, but then I'm like, there's just like we moved, don't judge, okay? We moved here like 4 years almost. It's our 4-year anniversary mid-June. Oh my god, that's coming up. And the first, like, up until about last summer, I was pretty depressed. I just didn't have any motivation. And since then, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I keep putting it off, and I'm like, oh, I really want to do this before the 4-year anniversary of
Yes. Good. Yeah. So Sarah, it seems like you've been drawing some cards or taking some cards, or
I was just
that maybe the angels or the spirit realm wants to share something with us.
About dreaming or
this is kind of funny. Letting go.
That free, allowing.
Yeah.
Allowing.
And it feels like, and I guess that's even where that popped into my mind too, just it is kind of that emotional, you know, energies and maybe even just kind of pulling up, like, since you've moved into the home, what emotions have you gone through, you know, and it's kind of seeing what is residing in your space and just pulling them up and just allowing them to be let go. And you can ask, you know, the angels and the guides, your higher self, whatever you're comfortable with, and okay, here was this sadness and I'm ready to let this go. And then kind of that inward and then outward, as within, so without. It'll kind of unfold with your organizing and cleaning and stuff too.
Yes, because somehow the law of attraction I always found law of attraction even ironic because it's truly when you let go, when you truly let go in your heart, that's when it comes to you.
Yeah.
There, you know. And that's the thing. It almost seems like, you know, almost kind of paradoxical that you need to identify what you want, you need to focus on what you want, but you also need to let it go. You know, which sounds a little kind of, right? Contradictory. Whereas when you want your job again is to know, set the intention, you know, and do the best you can in order to nurture that intention. But and you also need to relax and let it go, and that's part where a lot of us get kind of caught up and don't know what to do at some point, because you're like, oh my God, it's not there yet, so what have I done wrong? So then you're going to start judging yourself. Whereas, you know, if you're in that space where you're at peace with it and you're like, you know what, my job was to simply set my intention. My job was simply to put the focus the best I could. Now my job is simply to let it go and to let it be and to relax into that. And it's it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like it's ironic in a way. It's very ironic.
Remember the story I told you? I shouldn't share this, but years ago I wanted a job so badly, and I went and I didn't get it. And then 2 years later, I was in a movie and I was filming all night. And then I said, they're still hiring for this job. I'm going to go. But I went after I'd been filming all night, and so I fell asleep during the group interview. Fell asleep. And then they said, and then they were asking us questions, and they went, Jamie, and I went, oh my God, I've been sleeping. I'm like, oh, obviously I didn't get the job, right? I got the job.
Yes. Yes. And also when he was interviewed, he was in that space where, because he shares that in the show, he was in that space basically where, you know, because he was very relaxed, it was himself.
I don't recommend falling asleep in interviews, by the way.
No, it was himself. No, you had a reason for it. But, you know, he was relaxed himself, and then he was interviewed, they asked him a question, and just made the whole jury laugh.
And because I didn't think I got the job, I told a stupid joke, and everybody laughed. And I was like, okay.
And he got it.
I got the job.
Whereas the first time he was very stressed. He was,
I really want this job, and I think I'd be great at it. I was like pretty much like that.
Yes. Yeah. So
I pulled a card for everybody on the call.
Okay. Yeah.
Dreams coming true.
Oh,
that's for who? For who?
Everybody.
For everybody, or
dreams come true.
Yes.
How perfect.
Yes.
And there's a little frog on there, so it's like leaps and bounds. So you know, it'll be your movement.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I definitely just say follow your heart. Always.
Aww. Love you, Sarah Love.
Oh, thanks.
Yes. And it's hard at times to follow our heart, because sometimes we're you know, because we've been raised and trained to focus on the drama, to focus on the fear, to focus on, you know, shoulds and the don'ts. That, you know, sometimes following your heart is completely in contradiction with what your mind might say, you know, what your intellect might say. And sometimes following your heart doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, you know. Whereas
you can't see the bigger picture, so it feels really even more scary.
Exactly. You know, and you know, I mean, I know it for myself because again, I walked through this, and when I decide to quit my position, when I decide to say, okay, you know, I'm not going to have a fixed income anymore. And although, you know, I had obligations, you know, I had 2 mortgages to pay. I was on my own. I was not in a relationship. So, of course, you have all those fears, you know, of survival that come to the surface. Like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And I promise to you, when I quit my corporate job, I had never felt so happy or joyful in my life. I mean, there was a freedom, that lightness, that joy, and I didn't know what it was back then, but I was coming back to who I really am, you know, and then I didn't know I would be writing books. I didn't know I would be teaching. It wasn't clear, you know, but I just knew in my heart, okay, I need to get out of there. I need to get out of there, because this is crazy. This is really crazy, and it takes courage to walk through your fears. It does take courage, but I promise you, that's going to be the biggest reward you're going to have. I think, you know, at the end of our life, our biggest way of measuring, you know, the success would be, you know, what did I really walk through my fears? Did I really feel like, you know what, I'm so glad, you know, I truly listened to my truth. In essence, that's what it is. You were honoring and listening to your truth. You were honoring who you really are. And that's going to be the true way to judge and assess, okay, you know, how much, how much joy did you have in that life, really? Because we're here for a moment, you know. And that's what I reminded people in that talk, that we are here for a moment. And many people keep believing that they're going to be here forever. You know, like they're going to be in that life forever, but you're not. You're not. You're just here for a moment. You're just here for a moment. And when you realize that you're here for a moment, you know, you realize, okay, I need to really start asking myself, where is fun?
Yeah.
Because you're here for a moment. So you might as well have fun.
This ain't no dress rehearsal, people. This ain't no dress rehearsal. This is it.
Yeah, I think too, like not beating ourselves up. Because when I first was practicing the law, I read the Esther Hicks books and Wayne Dyer and everything, and I had like such anxiety through most of the day because I was like, oh my god, negative thought. Oh, I was negative. Oh, I worried.
What? Yes.
Yeah.
And so I just, you know, and then once I kind of like, again, let go of those feelings that came through, and just was like, it's okay, because it's like we're letting these emotions go. There's a lot to be found of them.
Yes, yes, yes. And which is why, you know, in my teaching, I truly invite people to be present with those emotions, be present with those feelings, because, you know, as you do that, you're not in a state of resistance, because what you resist persists. And the more you will judge your negativity, the more you will judge those emotions, the more you will get stuck in it, you know. And that's essential, to simply be present with those emotions, to simply allow them to be, because they have a message. Those anxieties, those negative feelings do have a message for you. They want to tell you something. But you cannot, if you're not in this place of stillness, you can't hear what they have to say to you. You know, you cannot. And when you start practicing, and again, it's a practice, you know, it's a practice. And when you start like you know, I've shared this in my book, and I'm going to share this again now very quickly, is that, you know, I had a lot of anger towards my dad. And I wasn't even aware of it. I was not even aware of it. But when I went deeper into the anger, and when I allowed the anger, I realized it was a lot of sadness. I was very sad. And what was behind the sadness? It was the fact that I could not connect to my dad's heart. And I felt extremely sad that we didn't have that heart-to-heart connection. And that was the reason why I felt so sad and also angry. And when I realized that actually all what I wanted was love. All what I wanted was love. I wanted to connect to my dad on a love level, and I wanted to be seen by him. And I wanted me to see him on that love, on that whole level. That's when I truly bawled, and I started crying, and I started to let go of all that stagnant energy. And now I'm in a place of peace. I realize that, you know, I can accept my father just the way he is, and I don't have to portray. I don't have to sort of play like this image of the ideal son, because that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is a loving connection with all the people around me. That's what we're all looking for, and love for me means to be accepted for who you are. That's what love is. And, you know, and at some point, you're going to realize that even those emotions that you keep fighting, because I was fighting that anger, and I was judging that anger. I was like, why am I angry against my dad? This is not good to be angry against your dad. There's something, you know, and then you're starting having guilt. You're starting to feel guilt about this, and you're not even aware of that. But when you start to truly, you are present with those emotions, you allow those emotions, then you will realize there is a message in those emotions. And for me, the message was like, I wanted love. I wanted to have a love connection with my dad. That's all I wanted. Okay. So we're coming to the end of the hour. So I'd love for either Jamie or Sarah to do a little guided meditation so we can simply embrace what we shared today.
Sure. I just wanted to end with one thing, and we can just maybe all go around and then we can do the meditation just quickly. I love that from Marie Forleo, to fill in the blank. Wouldn't it be great if, and it gets you into your dreams. So I don't know if you want to share something or just think about it at the end. But like for me, like, wouldn't it be great if I completed my online course and it's set up and I'm starting to attract ideal clients.
Okay. All right.
Go.
Wouldn't
I'm putting on the spot, but go.
Yeah.
I know, I'm like, give me an hour.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if Sarah Love and I could have this amazing joy webinar classes and coaching, and have that amazing fun celebration, and helping people remember that we're here to celebrate, we're here to dance, we're here to enjoy each other's uniqueness, we're here to enjoy this earth, which is a paradise, which could be a paradise, and that, you know, we can also and truly expand and learn through joy, and that suffering doesn't have to be the only way. Beautiful. Back to you, Sarah.
I want that one too. I'm stealing that, and then I'm going to keep mine simple. Wouldn't it be great to live my life in passion and joy?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Which is ultimately all what we look for, you know. Mm-hmm.
Mary, do you want to fill in the blank, or do you want to just take it with you and think?
I'm going to steal Sarah's. It feel great to live in joy,
Yes.
peace.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be great if?
And just expansiveness and being
Yes.
connected
Yes.
to community.
The
Yes.
community, absolutely.
Yes.
It's so important.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Absolutely.
You got us.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
All right.
So, Sarah, you want to?
Yeah.
You want to do the closing
All
music?
right.
We need to all meet up in New York or somewhere, I feel.
What's that?
We all need to meet up in New York or somewhere, I feel.
Yes.
That would be like so much fun.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yes.
I agree.
Not stop laughing and joy, I
Let's put it out there. All right.
And so it is. All right, perfect. So yes, go ahead and close your eyes. And then ground your feet onto the floor. And then envision yourself up in your head, where usually most of us are anyways. And just move the energies down through your face, through your neck, feeling your shoulders, your arms, and your torso. Moving the energy down throughout your body, through your legs, your calves and your feet. Let's go ahead and ground the energy into Mother Earth. Feeling her presence, feeling her love, and most of all, feeling her support. You can always connect here and feel that at any moment, at any time. And then go ahead and bring that energy back up through your body from Mother Earth. Filling it up through your calves, your legs, up through your torso. And here we're going to stop in the space of your heart and move into your heart center, the place of unconditional love, joy, peace. And really feel this space, feel this energy, this feeling of coming home, of being home. And in this space, invite in your most desired dream, your wish, and see it before you, feel it before you, or somehow sense that energy before you of what you would like to have in your life right now. And take a moment with this desire, with this dream, with this wish. Feeling how it would be to have it, sensing it in any way that you can. Keep being with it. Beautiful. Now with this dream, hold it in your hands and then see it transform into a beautiful butterfly. And as it does, open up your hands into the sky and let it go. Let it fly away to manifest into physical form when it's right and ready. And then when you're ready, go ahead and open up your eyes.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's funny, yes. Before you said that, I was imagining the bird flying.
Oh, beautiful. Yes, yes.
So remember, for those of you who are watching the rebroadcast, we are here every Tuesday,
Yes.
9 a.m. to help you with your dreams, with your goals, to follow your highest joy.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Namaste. And see you next Tuesday.
Bye, baby. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Priscilla. Bye, Medu. So,
It's recording.